Alright, round one against J Burke 13. Want to play first? Sure. And we got to keep early defense, then we get up to our 5 mana Fairies Band Centaurs. Rightio, rightio. I'll play the Swamp first in order to draw Farika's Cure. Let's see. And my opponent has not welcomed to the game yet. Let's pause. Alright, J Burke also keeps a hand. Good to know, good to know. I played my Swamp. Let's see what colors we're up against now. A fellow Swamper. Cool, we got a Dark Betrayal for that. That should work out nicely for us. And more land. We're pretty good on land now. Pretty much all the lands we want for the rest of the game. What am I most scared against? We like going late. I guess if my opponent has the Gray Merchant deck, we could be scared. So we didn't see someone else's drafting it. And that Farika's Mender didn't come back, so there could easily be something like that. A mirror match green-black being played against us. Spell? No, another Swamp. Of course. Well, we'll bash in. I'm going to go ahead and hang on to my second Baleful Eidolon and not play it, even though it doesn't maximize my mana. I like keeping this as a 5-drop. We're not under any pressure, so getting value out of it as a bestow creature should be pretty okay. And no Farika's Cure coming down this turn. Satiable Harpy, okay. I don't anticipate my opponent trading here. And since flyers we are weak to, I will go ahead and attack in, because I'm happy to make the trade at the moment. We should be able to outrace it my opponent eventually with our bigger guy, but for now, this is just fine. I do want to pay attention to keeping cards in hand if possible. For example, if a Disciple comes down, we'll be able to show 3 lands. Not a major concern. I think I picked up all the Disciples in the draft, but you never know, and my opponent seems to be playing pretty mono-blackish. Ooh. So I want to draw a removal spell very quickly, because I may not be able to erase this fully. We're not super behind by any means, but taking that much damage could get bad, and the discard will definitely be bad. Luckily we have a turn or two before that happens, so we can play the Centaur and the Eidolon. Ooh, yeah. A Farika's Cure right now would be awesome. Farika's Cure! I'm calling it. Another Eidolon. I do love my Eidolons, don't get me wrong, but this is not what I need. Because now we're taking 5 a turn, and then it'll be hard to kill. But we don't get a discard yet. So I'll save these 2 lands for my discard. But I need to draw a removal for this Blood Toll Harpy. Read the Bones is, I guess, okay, since we're kind of doing the race thing. I mean, I'm losing the race, but not by a whole lot, right? I need a Lash of the Whip. Ooh, white. I see what's going down here. We get hit for a bunch. That's not going to cut it. So I want to keep my forests in hand, because I'm going to have to discard 2 cards this next turn. So I just Baleful Eidolon up my other Baleful Eidolon, so at least I can attack in for both. Mainly because the favored Hoplite will probably get targeted. 6, 7, 8. I'm going to turn 2 clock, but I mean, there's really nothing else I can do, so. Double death touch. I could hold the Fairies Band Centaurs back for blocks, but I think it's important to not fall. Like, if I have a chance to win, it's by at least getting my opponent down to some level of damage. Dauntless Onslaught kills me, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, but whatever. Nothing I can do about it. Oh, let's see. Discarding our lands. You should target me. I recommend that, opponent. Thank you. Do I die? No. Yay. My opponent has 5 cards in hand. That's kind of insane. Ugh. I am dead. Is there any way for me to 3, 4, 5, 6? Let's just take a look at my opponent's hand. At least I'll get maximum information. Do you want to concede in response? So you're the one with the triad. Okay. What else you want to show me, buddy boy? What? This has got to be a Gray Merchant deck. Even though I don't know why there's a favorite Hoplite in it, but why are you playing March the Returned? So I'm seeing aggressive cards on the table, but a Read the Bones and a Triad of Fates and March the Return does not suggest aggression to me. So that's odd. So nice news is I have really good cards to bring in against my opponent with the Dark Betrayal and the Shredding Winds because I'm worried about dealing with the flyers. Though I have enough removal spells, I don't know if I want to bring the Shredding Winds in. You have to show me one more, buddy boy. Well, I guess we'll pause while you decide. Alright, opponent shows Lash of the Whips, which we'll discard. That's just in case my opponent feels like making mistakes and letting me live for a turn. Although I don't anticipate that happening. Ooh, what else do you have? Divine Verdict. So my opponent showed me all cards in hand. That's grand. So we know what to be playing around. That's kind of the best case scenario for me at this last turn of the game. And now I die. Ooh, and we finally drew an answer. Look, there's our answers. Alright, great options for us. Arguably even something like a Viper's Kiss to get rid of the Harpy, but I'm pretty sure these are going to be a little more versatile. Definitely Dark Betrayal is coming in. What is bad against my opponent? I don't really need a Scourge Mark. And that was our last card that we really cared about. So I definitely want this in. We didn't see a whole lot, but we did see like the favorite Hoplite, so there's some aggression. I do really just like having this sort of nice split. The Islands I think are good. The question is, do I care about Shredding Winds? I mean, we lost to the Harpy, but we only saw one card. We have plenty of ways to deal with Harpy. Dark Betrayal, Farika's Cure, the Lashes. If there was a card I really wanted to get rid of, I think I would, but the only real weak card I have is this Fairies Band Centaurs, but I think I need it, as again, just because it's a 3/7 kill things. I could argue taking out a Cure for Shredding Winds, but I think this will do a lot more in the long run than anything else. So yeah, I'm going to keep it this way. I like that. And we're good on mana still, so yeah. Let's go this route. And I'll continue to play first. Um, we're missing a land to really make this deck or this land this hand hum, but with a Eidolon and Dark Betrayal, I'm a-okay with that. Opponent keeps hand as well. Let's see what else my opponent decides to do. Alright, well, we get our 2-drop down, and our 3-drop, and then maybe if we draw one of our many swamps, we'll get our Disciple down. Which should be good by then. Opponent's not stuck on white this turn, and we are not drawing the correct lands. Maybe I should have done an 11-7 split. Could have brought out Cavern Lampad. I forgot that I was playing it as a 6-drop for Intimidate. I remember it was a 6-drop. I forgot the whole point of it, and this isn't going to do a whole lot against my opponent. So, but for now, it's our next play if we don't draw Swamp. And Swamp is exactly the ideal draw since I want more action. Although if my opponent wants to continue, I mean that's a really good card against me since I'm not exactly super fast. But taking 2 while we have some decent hits against our opponent and a Dark Betrayal backup, we might be able to tempo out. So that'd be cool. My opponent wanted both. Ooh, my opponent didn't play that very well. That's a discard. I didn't pay attention to that. That makes me very happy. Ugh. Well, ain't that a bummer. I'm still going to play the Lampad out, put more pressure. $10 says the next card that's played is a white creature, not a black creature. That would be just my luck. Yep, told ya. Super duper told ya, didn't I? And a black creature. Oh, and an ordeal. I think I would have saved that. I get maximizing your mana, but getting the protection, prevent all damage, is kind of key. That will go away momentarily. Alright, what do I want to bestow on? Might want to hang on to the Baleful Eidolon for a block. I might have some discards next turn, which is going to suck, but I don't think I can play around it, unfortunately. It means I might lose both of these guys, like if my opponent attacks and targets the favorite Hoplite. I think I'm just going to put it on my Fellhide Minotaur, because that way it won't be blocked by the favorite Hoplite. And I'll be able to at least bash in for a bunch of damage. Yep, best card. I could just race. Do I want to attack in with my Baleful Eidolon? I certainly am down for the trade, and I'm winning the race right now, right? Yeah, let's do it. Because if there is a target spell, which is going to suck, so I have to discard both these, it also eats the Baleful Eidolon. Please don't target your favorite Hoplite. There's probably a targeting spell. I'm going to discard both these. Ugh. Although it wouldn't be entirely wise for my opponent to attack with the favorite hoplite if this is the tap out that's happening. Because I still get to bash in with a bunch, and I'm winning the race. Ray of Disillusion! 3 life is what I care the most about. It means my opponent doesn't have a black card in hand, I presume. Ooh. Love that. Alright, let's attack. Because I am still happy with these trades. Really? Yes, really. Super duper happy. And we'll keep up our Dark Betrayal here. Alright. Might just pull through on this. Ooh. Ooh, Hythonia the Cruel, you are so dying to my Dark Betrayal. Yes, indeedy. That is the match, sir. Or the game, not the match. The game. There we are. Alright, so Hythonia, that's a good card. And so is Dark Betrayal, so that's happy dappy. Am I playing too many forests? I don't think so. I think I just got unlucky. I'm not grabbing the second swamp. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. I guess I really don't need. I only need double forest for Nemesis Morals, which by the time it comes down at 7 should be just fine. Yeah, I don't want to get screwed again with all my double black, so I think I'm a little bit off. Don't need to bring in the Shredding Winds again, and everything else was looking pretty good. So yeah, we'll do it this way. A little bit of adjustment to the mana base. I think the only thing I'm particularly worried about is my opponent having like a favorite hoplite or deal draw. And that's kind of just like a luck thing. The deck my opponent's playing has a lot of aggression and then like late game, so it's kind of inconsistent. Now this is an interesting decision. As I draw lands, which I have a lot of in my deck, I get to have a Minotaur and a Disciple, and that's going to be quite good. I'm going to keep it, especially because of this Dark Betrayal. So no. If I was on the play, then I would mulligan, because I do need a third land to make this hand work. But since I have an extra draw step, 18 lands, I should be able to not get too far behind. Even if I miss by my third turn, the Dark Betrayal should keep me alive fairly long enough. Unless, of course, there's a fabled Hoplite and Ordeal combo in turn 1 and turn 2 on the opposite side of the board, in which case I don't think I'd win anyway. Hey look, a swamp. Who'da thunk? Ooh, and Eidolon's a nice draw. Get our defenses up right away. Not surprised I drew an Eidolon. I do have 4 in the deck, after all. There we go. Alright. This hand should start humming relatively soon now. What's your 3-drop? Harpy? Yes. So Dark Betrayal I'll save for a 2-for-1, if not a 3-for-1 like we saw in the first game, though. My opponent has seen that card. I'll go ahead and attack in. I don't think my opponent will block, but I am down for this trade. Thought so. I thought so. If my opponent has a Disciple, what do I reveal of my 3 cards? I guess Swamp time to feed. And one of these two cards. I guess Lash. I do have the Dark Betrayal already as a removal spell. Probably the Disciple of Phoenix. I don't know. Well, we're winning this race in the moment. I don't know if I was hoping for an Ordeal to come down, but I'm not sad that it's not there. And another Harpy. Okay. That's nice. We're definitely going to do the Disciple of Phoenix right now. Me to see my opponent's entire hand and make some educated decisions. The Ordeal I think I'm going to cut because it's going to be a while before the Hythonia comes down and we have ways to deal with it. It means I'm going to save the Dark Betrayal for Hythonia and then use like Lash of the Whip and Time to Feed to take out the Blood Toll Harpies with Disciple, Time to Feed, and all that fun stuff. And March the Return I don't care quite so much about. And the Ordeal is more of an issue because it can come down next turn and do a whole bunch. So, Hythe. March, Plane, and Ordeal is gone. Wonderful. I'll F6 and attack. Yep, we lose some life, that is for sure. Ooh, that's a good card. We'll play this guy. I kind of need to start taking these guys out now. I think we'll just go attacking with everyone. We're on equal footing. Save the Lash of the Whip, and we'll use it this turn at combat. And the planes came down, right? Yeah. So there's a March and a Hythonia, right? And then something we don't know. I kind of like saving this for at least one more turn, again, because I want to start stem the bleeding with the Flyers. And if I draw a land next turn, it'll be really nice to bestow this card. I could go ahead and Time to Feed now, but who knows, maybe I'll get something out of my opponent, and maximizing mana is always a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to Lash now. No, God's willing. I didn't see it earlier, so I didn't think there'd be there, but that does blow me out pretty handily. A March can come down this turn, but then the Blood Toll Harpy can't be played, so we're in pretty good shape because then my opponent's fairly tapped out. Ideally, a land and Hythonia get played, because then I can do a Dark Betrayal and a Time to Feed, take out my opponent's board, and then start attacking in. My opponent will be able to march, but then can't play anything as a follow-up. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Alright, so I think... what do we do here? 4 in the air is dangerous. I love being able to bestow my Emissary on something. But I think what I have to do is Time to Feed the Minotaur to the Wingsteed Rider, take that guy out, hang on to Dark Betrayal, and then just start winning a race. Yeah, unfortunately that's what I gotta do. Could be a trick that targets the Wingsteed Rider, but there's not. So we're not completely dead. 3 points of life that I just gained is super critical in dealing with the different flyers because I really don't want Hythonia to come down with. Um, I don't want to use Dark Betrayal on the Bloodtil Harpy, the flyer, with that amount of pressure because I need to take care of Hythonia. My opponent has these 2 cards still, plus something else. Oh, happy day. That's grand. I just signaled that I have this, but let's wait and see if my opponent wants to try to attack with Bloodtil Harpy. Yeah. Alright, who are we putting the emissary on? Bloodtil Harpy already trades with this guy, and this guy. So there's really no reason not to put it on something decent, right? Yeah. I think we just put it on something that has a hole that is more likely to want to get through. Because otherwise my opponent just chumped here, only doing 2 points of damage. So I'd rather make sure that I get at least like 3 points of damage in. Because if this game goes too much longer, though it shouldn't, but if it does get too much longer, the March will get back Hythonia, and things can get kind of tricky there. A little bit dicey, as it were. So I need to kind of close this game out in 2 turns. Otherwise, Mythic Rarage takes over. And that's it. GG's. We'll see you in round 2.